So the next part on this drawing, since I just completed the hose in the last one, is going to be the ferrule. It's not feral like feral hog, but it's spelled like this: ferrule. Ferrule. What it is, this is not just for hoses. This can be for a number of things. You actually see it where a golf club, for instance, like the meets the shaft. It's a reinforcement thing. In this case, it's because they press the hose in here. This is what fits onto it, and then it's probably threaded in this end. Um, it's a pretty easy thing to draw, and I tell students that if they can get it with this taper in here, where there's been like a squeeze, um, some tool that squeezes that, then that's like extra icing on the cake. But if they can't, that's fine. So I'm just going to draw mine like a straight cylinder. Excuse me. If you do see in here, there's a series of ridges. And so I will produce those ridges in that. And then this is where attention counts in terms of measurements, because the hose diameter that I did on the last video was 0.70, I think. So in that case, the inner diameter of the ferrule also would have to make that identical size. And you got to watch which way you offset. Okay. So right here, I checked my math, and it does say 0.70. That would be the inner diameter. So what I'm going to start with is a real easy, and well, first thing I should do is see if I have a layer for ferrule, and I sure don't. So I'm going to go ahead and make that layer right now. And I don't have a lot on green, so I'll go with the green color. Oh, that's too dark. That'll be better. So I'll start with that. And really, this is just making a cylinder to begin. Not too difficult. And then, so let's try this. Go to ferrule. Chaos 1. I keep forgetting I stole this template from a playground project. So wherever, there it is, ferrule. So here it goes. So what I will do is go ahead and draw two circles. And I'm going to start with the one that's at a diameter of 0.070. And then I can draw another circle, or I could just offset it. So you could go circle and go diameter 0.730. Oops, that does not seem right. Circle, diameter 0.730. Something is obviously, my first one must have been wrong. So, okay, let's try it again. Circle, diameter 0.70. I think I did 0.070. And then I can offset it 0.030 if I want, since that's just 30 thousandths larger. Okay. I'm also going to do this with these ridges. I think I'm going to probably do this in a couple of different videos. Okay. The ridges say that they have a height of 0.20. They're 0.665 long, and meaning like going from the end of here to the end of here, and they're a width of 0.42, which is a little bit confusing. So way that I'm going to do this basically is going to draw a circle that's 0.42, and then I'm going to expose it 0.2. So I think 0.40 would be fine. And I'm going to embed that circle halfway into the thickness of this. Okay, so what that'll look like is I'll draw a circle, diameter 0.040, I'll try. And what's going to end up happening with that circle is it's going to sit in this like so. Okay, so if I just go ahead and move it to, or copy it and place it right there on the quadrant, then the other thing I can do is go back and take each one of these. And in all honesty, like one way I've done it is I've what I was about to do, and I just realized it's probably not as good of an idea, is I was going to trace an arc, from this quadrant to this point to here. But actually leaving them centered just leaving it right here makes makes it way. It's going to make it way easier for the last step that I'm going to do. Okay, so I have 8 of these things. I think it said hose crimp. There are 8 ridges, so I'm going to go ahead and do a array, a polar array, and I'm going to go ahead around here, and I'm just going to have to change my items to 6. Now, these won't be able to stay associated. Um, these have to be, so you saw I closed the associative button. These have to be independent because you can't extrude a single what's the word I'm looking for? You can't extrude all of these at the same time in an array, or at least I haven't found a way to, but that might just be me. Okay. The other thing that you do need to know is you have to go back and find the information from, it could be from a couple of places, either from your hose or from the nozzle where it goes into the hose. You want to make the diameter, the inside diameter, right here, like the inside diameter of the hose, you want that to match what's going through the ferrule, okay, which I remember was 0.375. So basically what we need to do is we need to make a punch or a cookie cutter in the center of this. That's going to be a diameter of 0.375. And I'm going to put this on a construction layer because I'm going to need to go ahead and you recognize that as not part of the object. Okay. All right. So that's all the bits and pieces from here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these, and now I'm in a 3D perspective, and I'm going to move these 8 circles right up into the air, making sure that I keep polar on and stay on the Z axis. So I'm going to move them, and I'm going to go and get them way up into the air and out of my way. Okay. I'm going to extrude where's my construction layer? I'm going to extrude this way up into space because I know that this object's only an inch long, so I'm just approximating it. And then I was about to extrude both of these at the same time, but you got to think about it. It's got end thickness as well, which is 0.030. So I'm going to move this upward 0.030. Okay, so why is that one up? Because that's the end thickness of this thing. Okay, so now I can extrude this wherever ferrule is. Ferrule. I can extrude this one 1 inch. So I'll type in 1 inch. And then I can extrude this one, and I got to add that 0.030 to it. So I say extrude 1.030. Okay, look down here, 1.030, and hit enter. And now I can do a couple of things. First thing is I'm going to move this up and out of the way because I don't want to confuse myself with my subtractions, or move it down and out of the way. So now I'm just going to go ahead and say subtract, pick the outside of this, right click, pick the inside of it, right click. And this should be like a glass right now. And that's perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to come back and move this back. I want it to puncture through the bottom. So there's that, puncturing through the bottom. And I want to do one more subtract again. So grab this, right click, grab this, right click. And now I've got a hole through the bottom of it. I'll leave it right there with this video. I'm going to come back and I'll deal with these ridges on their own.